Hello and welcome. Just getting set up. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some game dev today. We are beginning stage 2. And originally my plan was the end of stage 2 was demo. This is maybe not like the final demo, but something that I can put out that isn't actively harmful to the marketing of my game. I've changed my mind on that because I don't think I want to plan 90 days worth of development. What's up, Art? Hey, the one and only Bacon. Welcome. We're just getting started. So I will be having a list of things that I plan on getting done this month. And then next month I'll have a different list of things to get done. And then the month after that, I'll have a completely different list. That list will be stage 4. Next month will be stage 3. This is stage 2. Maybe at the end of stage 4, demo. Probably won't be here long considering it's almost 2 a.m. Fair enough. It's pretty late, but got to do game dev. This is the list of things that I'm going to be doing. And today I'm just going to be adding blood sprites and damage animations and doors, not levers and pressure plates. None of the rest of this stuff. Just blood sprites, damage animations, and doors. And if we get that done, all right. I think the first... Oh, shoot. My test stream died. Am I still online? No, I'm still online. That's weird. Haven't even seen the game yet, to be honest. I mean, it's still a work in progress. So there's not much to see. Like... Start server. Oh no, there was already a server. I shouldn't have done that. Or just join server. Look at that. It's the game. We will get through this list. The one thing that playing Chaos Strikes Back has really imprinted on me is that we really need to have a map. So that's going to be the last thing we do. The rest of the stuff is not particularly exciting. It's still backbone features like coins and hands. So I don't expect the game to really be fleshed out by the end of stage 2. I don't know what the goal is for the end of stage 2, but the end of stage 3, I want to have enough content in the game that I can start making levels. Because I made what I made here, but this is not enough. So add blood sprites and animations. This is actually a leftover from stage 1 that I didn't do. I moved it to stage 2 and I put it at the very top so that I do it right now. We already have the blood sprite. And I should emphasize that this is a placeholder, but it's the kind of placeholder that may end up in the final game. So I should program it with the expectation that it'll change, but that's no excuse to be sloppy. So let's get this in first. So I don't have an element for this to be, so we need to create one. I have spells, players, mobs, mechanisms, items, and actors. This is none of those. So this is, I want to define 2 different types of decorations. Obstacles and not obstacles. And this is a not obstacle. So it's always about naming this. Naming this is hard. I don't have a good name. Like I could call one decorative. Deco, splatter, spill. Stain. I think calling them a stain is it's fine. It's not great. A stain is a element that fades quickly, temporarily marks the level. But what if I want a permanent stain? I need a name. I could call them a deco, and then I could call the obstacles a prop. Is the different blood colors like different visuals, or are each going to be used based on how much damage you did? There's only one blood prop. This is just, it decays over time. There could be more blood props. That is a future staged goal. So the only goal here is you hit an enemy, it leaves a blood splatter. Maybe it rotates the blood splatter so that they're not just all stacked on top of each other, but then each blood splatter has a timer, and every 30 seconds it advances its sprite. And then at the end of its life, it just throws itself away, and we don't have to worry about it. Ideally, it's the kind of thing that I create a spawner for, and then the spawner takes care of like creating and deleting. So I don't have to worry about like synchronizing the blood spatter states. I thought blood was like enemy blood spatter when attacked. Yeah. What was I on just called? Deco spawner. I'll just do this and then suffer if it's a mistake. And the deco has a it needs to be given. Basically, the only thing it needs is a sprite. Well, that's not true. It also needs to have a look string so we can look at it and we'll get a description of what we're looking at. But that's it. Oh, since we need to click on it, it needs to be collidable, but not physics collidable. Just collidable for the mouse. We've already done that for something. I can't remember. Items have that. So we just copy item logic. This is, I guess, an extension of an item, just not something you can put in your inventory. Yeah. Let's attach a script. Since we are copying items, let's just, not an animatable body 2D. Although, I'm just thinking, if this is a deco, if this is an animatable body 2D, but it has no collision, no appreciable collision, does that have a performance impact? Or can I just spam these out? I would rather use the static body 2D. But I was doing that for items, and then there was a reason why I switched to animatable body 2Ds. And I can't remember why that would be. No, nothing's coming to mind. Let me just stare at this for a second. There's probably a reason this is not a static body 2D, but I don't remember. So what we can do is we can make this a static body 2D, and then the moment that we realize why we can't do that, we'll switch it up. Okay. I need a collision shape 2D. Create. This needs to be a shape. It's going to be a rectangle 2D. Do I need to define its size, or is this? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, 32 by 32. Okay. Got a collectible component for the item. Do we have a position component? Do I need a position component for this? I probably do. How is an item defined? How does it get its position? When we set the item data. Nope, we don't set its position. Why did I do it like this? I'm going to trust past me. I used a position component, so I should probably have a position component for this. That's not how that works. Uh-oh, undo. There we go, okay. I need to grab the scene position component. What does this do? This just uses the position component of this. It's just a little. This is okay. Yeah. Are there any other components that I should probably add? I think I need a timer component. State component, no. Mover component, light component, job component, event component. I'll probably want to have an event component, but that is for blood splatters, not all decos. So this is fine. We are good to go. Let's go ahead. How do I bring this up? We want to create, we don't want this ready function. We don't want this process function. All we want is, hello, I am a deco. Give me a data, and then I will handle the rest. Okay, I'm just gonna look at items for a second to get a thing. We have an item data. We're gonna want to create deco data. And we need to make that a real thing. All right, it's real. I think for item data, we want to copy this. This is something that gets this is something that is necessary for setting up the sprite. Yeah, sure. And I don't think there's a world where this signal matters, but we can keep it. It's not a big deal. emit a signal that no one's listening to. Not a huge performance loss. Then again, we'll uncomment it if we need it. We are going to go ahead and, because this function is mainly for UI, and there's no world where we're putting a deco in the UI. So I don't particularly see why we would need. Let's, no, I need to grab something else from items. Exit tree. No, I don't need that. Use, no, we can't use it. The rest of these functions, okay, get sprite. That's probably a function I need. Update anim. Okay, let's make a data. Deco. Blood splatter. No, I need this to be not a script. I need this to be a resource. And then we make the scripts folder, and then we put it in there. All right. So do I need to name this? I think I do. Have I been doing that? I have. Class name, blood splatter. That's kind of silly. I don't actually know if I need that class name. I declare it here and then never use that class. Okay, so what if we just don't name this? It might be for the best if resources don't have names. I need to wipe those out. Those don't do anything anyway. We need an init function. That means I need a texture. Use client is true. I don't need that. We just need a texture variable. How do I do this for the torch? Because the torch has states, and I'm going to assume that the way I did it for the torch was not dumb. How does the torch update its sprite? Where's the init? Okay, we have a get sprite function. Are we just overwriting the get sprite function? That seems to be what we're doing. Yeah, we have a get sprite function. It creates a new sprite 2D and then returns the texture, and then that's that. That's not what we want. We want, maybe it is what we want. Maybe we can work with that. That's fine. We have the actual sprite right here. So we can, this is going to have a frame set. It'll start at 0. We can just increment it 1, 2, and 3 as the state of the blood splatter increases. We need to synchronize the blood splatter. The blood splatter state. So we could create a state component and put it in charge of keeping the deco up to date, or we could just have the server RPC to the clients. This is a blood splatter. It's decayed. Or we could be super lazy and make blood splatter decay client side. So on one screen you'll see blood splatter, on the other screen you won't. I don't think that's I think that's a very lazy approach, and I shouldn't do that. Making an RPC call, specifically update deco. No, that's not very scalable. A state component is scalable. I should make a state component for this. So we need a function to create a state component. And then we need a function. Whenever the state component updates, update your sprite. And the state component is self-synchronizing. So that is magically handled. Let me just confirm that before I just say magically. Yeah, okay, this is a synchronizer. Yes, that is a multiplayer synchronizer. So if we create a state and we update it on the server, the clients will get the memo free of charge. Yes, all that to say, the state component is the way. That is the clean, scalable, smart, good-looking solution. We need a add state component function in our deco. All right. We will have our blood splatter create a state component. I believe the torch has a state component, so we can just copy the logic there. I prefer to copy my logic whenever possible to minimize thinking. Thinking is the enemy. Here it is. Oh, and an event component too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't particularly know what most of this is, but I don't care. It's so fine. Okay, so we need a... Okay, this should already work. This one should work. Unless I did this wrong. Did I do it wrong? Deco data, tell me what you are. Okay. I believe that event handlers are also self-synchronizing, but I am less confident in that. If that's not the case, I am running an event component on the server and the client, but that doesn't make any sense because the server one is going to override the client one. So should I go into my torch and change it up so that that doesn't happen. Because the thing is, this event component will actively interfere with our state. We don't have the authority to override the server, but we can override ourselves. So we can make this torch appear to have the wrong state if we do this the way that we're doing it. To do, where's my, I gotta clear this out. Stage 2 to do, look into torch. Should the event component be server side only? Let's make the blood splatter a server, the event for the blood splatter server side only. So if we are the server, add the event component. Otherwise, don't bother. That's not our problem. There's a way to do this. I don't remember it. Multiplayer.isServer. Wait a minute. Why are all these commented out? Don't worry about it. Item.stateSignal. Oh, I see the problem. Okay. Add int property. This can take 2 properties. Oh, one is the name and one is the default. Yeah. State. I can't declare multiplayer in this function. Oh. Maybe we can do something. I'm trying to think. Is there a world where we want to have event components be settable on the client side? Let's just for now leave it alone. And investigate later, should we make that a server-side only event? Because I get the feeling there's going to be jank if we don't look into that, but jank doesn't mean it won't work. It just means jank. So we'll skip this for now. We always have the event component. We'll set this to 10 seconds. I don't know State signal? What is a state signal? Okay. Item data dot state signal self. This is a function that gets called by the item data. So I think the torch has one. What does it do? That's probably how we're updating. Yeah, we're updating the animation whenever we call state signal. Okay, so we should have that function here. And then the deco data needs to have that function as well. So we need to copy it from the torch. Okay. Okay, and I assume all we need to do, we have the state component. We get the state variable, and then we set that equal to the texture frame. And then we're done. Or if the state is equal to 4, we just free the whole thing, whole cloth, get this out of here. And then we move on with our lives. Perhaps that's what we do. Deco.get sprite.frame equals state. Hold on. Sprite 2D. It is frame. Okay. Var num frames equals 4. Stage equals state component dot get int property state plus 1. Okay. Oh, and then I need to set the state component. Okay, that should do it. If we create this, it'll automatically create an event component. This needs to be updated. We would like the art to be correct. And I need the H frames to be set to 4. Oh, here it is. There we go. Now, when we create a blood splatter and when we create a deco and we assign it the blood splatter data object, everything else should just click. So before we test that out, we do need to create a spawner for decos. No, I want to add a child node. Okay. Multiplayer spawner, and I'm happy to have each of these be its own thing. Let me go ahead and take the item spawner and just copy it mostly. All right. Okay. Okay, and this needs to have that function. Okay. All right, we have the spawner. Why is this complaining? Oh, because we haven't set it up yet. That's totally fair. We get this set up right now and then we're good. Deco, there you go. We need to look at oh, I need to set a spawn path. Well, that's easy. There it is. Why are these the graphical representations of the scenes that I'm passing in? Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Do I need to set the auto spawn list? No, we're done. We did it. All we need to do now is we need to call our deco spawner.spawn. And we need to pass in the thing that we are wanting to have spawned. So we need to go to a combat controller. And then whenever we deal damage, or actually we can just go to a health controller. Whenever health goes down, create a blood spatter at the target location, at our location. No, let's do it in the combat controller. Combat component. I think the combat handler's the thing actually responsible for dealing damage. I don't think I actually defined that. So we can just put it here, make this large function even larger. Strike target. Calculate attack. Presumably only the server is calling this function. I I should leave comments for myself to actually make that clear, because this is just something. I'm pretty sure this is only happening on the server side because we're RPCing to the clients. So we can go ahead and, how do I get root? I need to get the spawner. I need to get this node to spawn. Input handler.main.get node. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Look, I'm just gonna take this whole function, whole cloth. We're gonna go back to the combat handler. Var. I don't even need this var. Deco spawner. Do we have attack target dot position? Where's attack target defined? Attack target it's defined. We can trust. I am confused why this is 2 arrays, but I'm not going to think about it. That should just work. Oh, this isn't a... I see. This is not a... Oh... Okay, I have at least one item that the sprite has more than one state. There's the torch. It might actually just be only the torch. So where's my get sprite function? So how about that? Okay, problem. Whoops. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry, did I say have collision? I meant don't have collision. What do items have? That's all I want. They're on layer 2 and mask 2. I don't think they need to be mask on any mask, because this doesn't listen for collisions. It just exists to receive mouse clicks. I need to label. Okay. Mechanisms are on layer 1, but they listen on layer 2. This doesn't get a thing at all. Okay, layer 1, listen 1. Let's just go on layer 2, listen to for now. All right, now let's murder this guy. I do want to have the sprite be drawn since it's being added recently. It is being drawn over everything else, and I don't want that. Okay. Okay, none of these seem to be decaying. So the event handler is not handling the event. Right. Right. I never actually set that up, did I? I'm forgetting a key thing. We're creating this event component. Do we ever actually start it? And when the event component triggers, do we care? We're not actually doing anything. How are we handling that in the torch? Get sprite, init, event. We've got an event function. Okay. I think I wrote the state signal thing here, and I actually just wanted it to be an event. And I think in order for that to work, we also need a deco event function. So this needs to be like so. Okay. Now it should work. Let's actually make this even faster. Each blood splatter should only last a few seconds. Okay, do we ever start the timer? We define the timer, do we start it? We can afford to just start it on spawn. Like, that's totally fine, because there's no preserving a blood splatter. Ah, immediate crash. Cannot start method on a null value. Are we not allowed to call? Where's the timer? Maybe I should have an await timer dot ready. No, we can't do that. If there's no timer, await timer dot ready. Is there a better way to do this? Yes, there is. Go back to the blood splatter. So we're calling this function. That should work. Non-existent function state signal in resource blood splatter.gd. No, it's not non-existent. When are we calling this state signal function? We don't need this function in the blood splatter. I don't know what it's for. So we'll just ignore it. All right. Yeah, it's fading. It's fading fast. Oh, that looks even better than... Okay. Here's the thing, though. I would very much like, when we create this sprite... Oh, we haven't stopped? This is good. This is good, for sure. Let's rotate it. Let's rotate the sprite. Flip H equals... What is this? Oops. Oh, it's a Boolean. Okay. What does randi give me? How about randi range 0, 1 equals 1? And this is not going to be synchronized, so the blood splatter is going to look different on each player's screen, and that's just fine. That's fine. I will not lose any sleep over that. I should also jiggle the position a little. Yeah. So oh, okay. That's a vector 2, not a vector 2i. Is that still a thing? Did I mean to use randf range? Yes, I did. Thank you very much. Okay, now here's the thing. I want this to be drawn behind the everything else except the ground. So we need to sort out the Z layers. Z index. Okay. How do I set the z-index for every element in this? Ah, I can just do this. I'm pretty sure that'll work. So if we set the blood splatter z-index to -1, that should be fine. Yeah. Maybe we make the scale variable as well. And then I missed the end, but it caught it scrubbing back Dungeon Master 2. I'm happy to do Dungeon Master 2 in the future. I've beaten Dungeon Master 2, so I was less motivated to do it because I had never beaten Chaos Strikes Back. I was more motivated to finish that. But Dungeon Master 2 is pretty good. I don't hate it. I'd play that. Maybe at the end of stage 2. It is available on Return to Chaos, so. There was something I was about to do. What? I cannot set the... Sorry, did I just invent this? Oh, this is a vector 2. Okay, I see. No, I want this to scale, like... I want this to remain a square, so... I can do vector 2... Something like that. I thought Chaos Strikes Back was the second. Been a while. Chaos Strikes Back is it's strange naming for sure. Chaos Strikes Back comes after Dungeon Master. It's the same engine. It looks the same. So like, whoa. Dungeon Master 2 is the sequel. Is like the 4th or the 5th Dungeon Master to come out. It has significantly more updated graphics. You can definitely tell it's different. Some blood spatters are big, some of them are small. Oh, okay, I just lost signal. All right, hold on one second. Yeah, okay, we're caught up. I mean, Dungeon Master 2 is a fine game. It is mostly a graphical improvement. Most of the gameplay, I believe, is the same. There's a currency box and there's a shop. There's shop mechanics, so you can buy things with money. But I wouldn't say that that's a fully baked feature. It's just it's a neat little thing. Doesn't really add much to the game, and the exploration, it's a bit the art is a bit more varied because like in Dungeon Master and Chaos Strikes Back, you're in a dungeon in a square in a stone dungeon, and the walls will all look the same and blah blah. In Dungeon Master 2, there's an outdoors and an indoors, and I think there's like a cave and then there's a tower. I can't remember if there's another spoilery thing. Yeah. I don't know how much deeper I want to go in making this like what it is. This does look very messy. This does look very messy, and this is the like debug level. If I set, I was planning on setting this to like 45 seconds, but if I set this to 10 seconds, how does it look? It probably looks atrociously bad. I mean, it's realistic. If you stab something a lot, you get blood everywhere, and it looks ugly and like it's hard to look at. I don't hate it. I mean, I hate it in the sense that like this is ugly, but that could be because my art sucks. There could be a world where this is actually great. Yeah. What we might do is we might say only 10% of attacks draw blood. I'll try setting this to. If it's something where like blood is actually pretty scarce, then maybe it's fine. It also might help if there was like a character blood splatter and then a monster blood splatter. We can go pretty deep on this init. We could say like, when you have a blood splatter, you have to pass in who it's for. And then we can get the health component, or we can just have pass in like, how much damage did this blood splatter represent? And if we're like, you took 40 damage, we can make a really big blood splatter, and we can make it really likely that it appears. Versus, you took 1 damage. Maybe there's no blood. I don't know. That's future us to worry about. We can really jack this up. I'm gonna do one more thing. We're gonna not do doors. I don't think I have time, but I do want to get the damage animation. So I have one damage animation that I made. It's the slash. I don't even know if that's like good looking, but I did it. I think I want to have other ones as well, like a bite or a bash, but we'll start here. I don't know how I should do this. So I'm thinking we just attach it to the combat component the exact same way we just attached the blood splatter. This can be a lot simpler than the blood splatter because this is just an animation. So all we need to do is just send an RPC to the clients and say, hey, you just got hit. This person just got hit. Play this animation. We play the animation, and then the client cleans it up in a second, and then that's it. We don't need to create a scene. We don't need to create a mess. Let's see. Where's the combat component? There we go. RPC handler. Play animation. Send animation to clients. The RPC. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Send animation to clients. And I don't want this to be a message. I want this to be a... Maybe we can define an animation helper, animation handler. We'll go into, I put all his animated GIFs in one pure ref file and squared them. I need to define this. No, what am I doing? Project settings. Animation handler. Right. Wait, where's my message handler? Chat handler, that's what it's called. Okay. We can just define func play animation. And then we'll have an enum, I guess. Given the distances, you probably moved to from a local to a topological one. Possibly. This doesn't need to be a node. Oh, I guess it does actually. I want to pass in a string. No, I want to pass in an enum. Why am I not using an enum? Func, enum, anim. Slash attack. This is not how you define enums, is it? No, it is. Pass. Position vector 2 anim int position vector 2. There we go. Okay. So we get an animation, we get a position, match anim Did you move up to 4.6.3 stable? That is the version I'm on. Yeah. I did not notice any difference whatsoever when I updated to it. I noticed a huge difference when I updated from 4.5 to 4.6, but from 4.6 to 4.63, no, there are minor bug fixes. New anim sprite equals sprite frames dot new. How do I do this? I do not have the brain space to remember. I'm just gonna copy all of this and then lose most of it because I don't need. It's just the one animation. We play it immediately and then we throw it away as soon as we're done. Func get anim sprite. And then we will pass in the actual animation path. I think we also need to pass in the number of frames. Chuck a timer on it, queue free. Love not having to manage a pool in systems in Godot for most things. We can do even better. We don't even need a timer. We'll get there. We'll get there. Frames.add animation. Go. A default. Oh, shoot. No, I do need to preload. Path. Okay, and then we create an atlas. Shouldn't I just use the sheet here? Why am I not using the sheet? I don't fully understand. I don't entirely remember which direction to go. I had to pull everything in Unity. It was the first era of mobile, so low spec devices ruins the creativity. I mean, there are advantages to a pool, but I see what you mean. H frames. I believe this is correct. V frames. Why is this wrong? Is it wrong because... for one. Okay. Expected closing brace after function parameters. Am I doing this right? I'm clearly missing something dumb. All right, whatever it's missing is, I'm just going to move on. I have to move to a computer to see the code. Screen's too small. I think I'm just missing a parentheses somewhere real dumb. Or maybe I'm doing this backwards. That could be the problem. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay, cannot find member /attack. It's down here. Oh, anim./attack. No, I did. That's, yeah. in base int. Oh, it's because I have foolishly named this. Play await anim sprite dot finished. There we go. Await anim sprite.queue_free. Okay, we set the position before we play it. And then I think we need to add it as a child input handler dot main dot add child anim sprite. There we go. That's all we need. I don't know why this is failing. This has to be a constant string. All right. There's no point in this then. Maybe there is. Okay. All we need to do now is go back to the RPC handler and make this function. We have this function. Now we just need to use it. Anim param position. Do I need the position? Yeah, I do need the position. I need to give the position. So animation handler dot play animation handler dot anim dot slash attack position. We did it. Now we got to go back to the combat handler. Combat component. There we go. I need to give it the anim handler dot anim dot slash attack anim attack target dot position. We're done. We did it. Everything's good. Let's play it. Let's see it. Well, it's there. It's just very small. Oh, also it's not getting freed up. So it's just playing forever. Well, I'll figure that out later. That is it. I am going to call it a victory here. We're going to go ahead and say this is done. Next time, doors, levers, and hands. I don't expect this week, I said this already, I don't expect this week or next week to be particularly momentum heavy in terms of development. So I'm just going to be taking it easy. The following 2 weeks though, we're going to get churning. A few of these, most of these are pretty small, but a few of these are going to be pretty hard to chew. So I should not underestimate. If I do one a day, we're fine. But some of these are very large and some of these are very small. So I should move faster. All right. Anyway, I'm going to bounce. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hope you had a good time. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope things are going well for you. See you all next time.